In Hollywood, some stars burn out and others are just flat out extinguished. For Mel Gibson, it was more like a public immolation. This was an Oscar-winning director, a global superstar who had the world at his feet. Then almost overnight, he became an untouchable pariah. He was deemed uninsurable, dropped by his own agency, and blacklisted by the very industry that had built him up. His name became a punchline and his career turned into a cautionary tale. Everyone thought it was over. But what they didn't count on was that the same fire that consumed him had forged something else entirely. A resilience that would fuel one of the most unlikely and powerful comebacks Hollywood has ever seen. This is the story of how Mel Gibson went from the top of the world to the bottom of the barrel, and somehow fought his way back. Before all the scandals and infamy, Mel Gibson was the definition of an A-list movie star. After his family moved from New York to Australia when he was 12, he studied at the National Institute of Dramatic Art, sharpening a raw talent that was just impossible to ignore. His breakout role as the leather-clad anti-hero in 1979's Mad Max made him an international sensation. Throughout the 80s, his star just kept climbing. The historical drama Gallipoli earned him serious critical acclaim, while the buddy cop blockbuster Lethal Weapon cemented his status as a charismatic, bankable leading man. He was a box office powerhouse, moving effortlessly between action, drama, and even romantic comedies like What Women Want. But Gibson wasn't satisfied with just being in front of the camera. He had stories he needed to tell. In 1993, he directed his first film, The Man Without a Face. Just 2 years later, he directed, produced, and starred in Braveheart, an epic tale of Scottish rebellion. The film was a colossal success, a cultural phenomenon that ended with Gibson winning 2 Academy Awards, one for Best Director and another for Best Picture. This was his coronation. He hadn't just made it in Hollywood, he had conquered it. Not just as a movie star, but as a visionary filmmaker. He followed this up with a string of hits, including The Patriot and Signs, and even founded his own production company, Icon Entertainment. By the early 2000s, Mel Gibson wasn't just a part of the Hollywood machine, he was one of its most powerful and respected figures. He had it all: the fame, the awards, the creative control. From the outside, his reign looked completely unshakable. The first deep crack in the foundation appeared in 2024. Gibson, a devout traditional Catholic, poured his own money into directing The Passion of the Christ. While the film was a massive box office hit, it was buried in controversy. Many Jewish leaders and critics accused it of being anti-Semitic and blaming Jews for the death of Jesus. Gibson defended the film as a personal expression of his faith, but the controversy cast a long, dark shadow. It was, however, just a tremor before the earthquake. On a hot July night in 2006, that earthquake struck. Gibson was arrested for driving under the influence in Malibu. The arrest itself was bad enough, but what happened next was catastrophic. The police report was leaked to the public, and it detailed an unhinged, vitriolic rant. Gibson spewed hateful, anti-Semitic slurs, infamously screaming, "The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world." The fallout was immediate and brutal. Hollywood, an industry with deep Jewish roots, turned its back on him. His powerful agency dropped him. Producers who once clamored to work with him wouldn't even return his calls. His wife of 26 years left him, which led to one of the largest divorce settlements in Hollywood history. And just when it seemed things couldn't possibly get worse, they did. In 2010, a series of horrifying audio recordings were leaked. In them, Gibson is heard in a rage-fueled racist and misogynistic tirade against his then-girlfriend, Oksana Grigorieva. He even admitted to hitting her, saying she deserved it. He pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor battery charge. If the DUI was a career-ending event, this was the nail in the coffin. The man who had once been on top of the world was now completely and utterly banned. Mel Gibson stayed away from the director's chair. Then in 2016, he returned with Hacksaw Ridge. The film told the true story of Desmond Doss, a World War I Army medic and devout Christian who refused to carry a weapon, yet single-handedly saved 75 men during the brutal Battle of Okinawa. It was a story of unwavering faith, courage, and grace in the face of unimaginable horror themes that clearly resonated with Gibson's own journey. It's a story that raises a lot of questions about forgiveness and second chances. What do you think? Comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's most fascinating stories.